Hey everybody, Kennis here. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm doing a review of this right here. This is the TS Mega audio interface and foot controller from MeloAudio. Not really sure exactly how to say that. A while back I did a review of the MeloAudio MIDI commander, and this is kind of like the big brother to that. Check it out. I am intrigued by this product, this TS Mega audio interface. It does a couple things from what I understand. You're going to be able to hook it up to, something in control MIDI wise. Like when I did the review of this, its little brother, I hooked it up to my GR55 and showed how you could use these to program the GR55 and control different things. But what's great about this is it is two additional things to that. You can hook up your iPad to it and use like built-in effects in your iPad if you have a program for that or an app for that, and this will control it, as well as actually be able to use this as an audio interface. So I could hook this up directly into my computer and get audio record into that. So let's check it out. I'm going to do an unboxing of it. Okay, it did come with this also, this adapter. This is like an iPhone, and looks like USB and USB-C on this side. So it looks like it comes with a lot of stuff. The Tone Shifter Mega. It's got a USB, a MIDI cable, a small USB there, headphone adapter, and then the one that goes into your iPhone. So basically, looks like just about any connection you would need. Let's look at this. It's got a metal enclosure. It's looks like very sturdy. I like the way that these things look here. Little feet on the bottom, and it's got some inputs and outputs on the back. MIDI, USB. There's the power there. I imagine though it would power over USB. We will find out. On the side here, it's got an XLR out, a headphone out, and on this side is an XLR in, and then a button here, which I'm not sure what that's doing yet. As you can see here, this is a iPad Air, the original one, and it fits just like that. So that's actually pretty nice. Fits in there pretty well. All right, let's open it up and see what software it's going to use and all of that kind of thing. All right, well, I've been playing around with this for about 30 minutes now and finally have it hooked up, ready to go. Let me just kind of show you the setup of what it looks like. Here's the Tone Shifter Mega. Obviously, the iPad just kind of sits in here. I'm using this adapter that it came with going into this USB cable here. And actually, I'm going to unplug this one to show you kind of what's going on here. This one is the power cable, but it is not required. You can actually power this whole thing from your iPad, which is really nice, because if you got a full charge on that, you could just, you could go wireless to a gig. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so it's that's basically the setup here. Now, I went in and downloaded a free app on the App Store called Jamup, Jamup, and basically it's just kind of like a virtual guitar rig inside the box here. Never used it before, so it was a very, very slight learning curve, not super big, but let me just kind of show you how all this works. Basically, let me just say the first thing that it took me about 20 minutes to figure out is if you go into settings and you go over to MIDI settings, you need to make sure you click enable MIDI controller. Also in here, you can put different MIDI assignments in there as well. I'm not going to get into all of that, but that in order for these pedals to actually work on here, that's what I had to do. Can't believe it took me that long to do. Anyway, let me just show you. This isn't really a review of this software, but it actually does have some neat things in here. that I thought was pretty cool. It's got a tuner up at the top, and so I can I can tune, you know, inside this software, which I think is great. It also has a BPM where you can play to a metronome, and I think that's awesome. The other thing, and the most important thing, is all the effects. So if you see here on this, I've got a noise gate, a filter, which is I'm going to turn off. I've got a overdrive pedal. The amp is kind of like an AC 15 or something like that. It's got modulation effects if I wanted to, delay effects. These are all the ones that come free with it, but you can get all this. You can upgrade. You can buy additional effects. This is out of the factory presets that it has. This 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. You can see here that in the Jam, it's JAMP is what it's. This is already set up to control this. It's got a list of different ones that it can control: Jamup, bias effects, Kemper, axe effects, atom or atomic effects. And then you can actually use it to control your own if you had a third party or one that wasn't as associated with this. Okay, I don't want to take too much longer on this. I want to dive right into it, but just out of the box, this is essentially what it's got here. This is a AC. It's got a noise gate on here that's on, and you can kind of see that it actually works. It actually functions. Everything functions very similar to a real rig. It's got a AC, as I said, and you can adjust the volumes just like a normal amp. And it's got a delay on here. I'm actually going to pull that down a little bit. And a reverb. It looks kind of like it's supposed to be kind of like a Boss reverb. Anyway, that's what it's sounding like. Now, what's cool is you can actually program some of these to do different things. So like one, if I hit this one button up at the top here, it pulls in my overdrive. And then my overdrive, that would be turning it on and off. It's a little extreme. I'm going to, go in here and, let's see. Yep, I'm going to turn down the overdrive on this just a little bit. There we go. So I just made that adjustment there. And then number two is going to put in pulls out the delay. And I think you can go in here and set these up however you want. You could tell it, 1, 2 does something. I think you can program 3 and 4 to do something, to turn on and off effects, which I think that's probably how I would run this kind of rig. But I think that's pretty cool. Usually I find that as I'm playing, I just need, really 1 or 2 pedals to be able to turn on and off. I get kind of like a good sound, and then an overdrive pedal to boost it, and maybe an extra delay pedal to get more ambient delay or something like that. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to just hit this B button, and it's going to go to a whole new section. I could have had a different amp, could have had different pedals, could have had everything different. Turn my volume up again. More of a crunchy sound. Anyway, and again, I think I could turn that off. Let's see, it's got delay. Pretty cool. I'm going to go to number 4 here. This is the preset kind of bluesy. very cool there. You can see I accidentally touched one of these knobs, or these buttons here. And the way this is pre-programmed is you could actually have multiple different banks. So I could have, you know, on each one of these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. But I could, if I wanted to, I could have this arrow up. I could go to bank 2 and then do a whole different set. I don't have those labeled in there. And you get all the way up to 8 banks on here. And so that's kind of neat. Okay, and this 3, this is kind of a setup that I would more or less run. It's kind of more of my sound here. Pull in the overdrive pedal. Anyway, that's what I have there. Let me show you another feature that I think is pretty neat in this setup here on this app, which is pretty amazing that it comes with this. It's got a jam feature where you could load in like on your iPad if you had a song you wanted to jam to. It's pretty cool. And I believe it speeds it up and slows it down and that kind of thing. Changes keys if you wanted to. That's awesome. It's got a sampler, kind of like a looper pedal built in. It's got an 8-track, and we hit 8-track. The first time it pops up, it says your first 2 tracks are free. Anyway, that's kind of cool that it's built into this little setup here. Anyway, I'm really liking this so far. This is a pretty cool, especially if you were in a situation where you needed to have a very mobile setup. Sometimes I travel out of the country and I don't want to take a full rig. So the next time I go, I'll probably take this with me. I'll have my iPad with me, and I'll be able to have any effects or whatever that I want built into it. Also, this functions as a interface. So if I wanted to hook this up to Ableton Live as a software I use and record directly into that, that would be able to do that as well. This is just a really, I'm pretty impressed with this unit overall. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, please hit a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you watching this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.